Before we talk about heroes, idols, or loyalty to the Empire, we need to talk about survival. Not every Charon who joined the Empire did so out of belief. Some joined because they needed food on the table. Some joined because there was no other choice. And then there's Lynn. She's a sharpshooter in the 13th Legion, a soldier who follows orders, but not blindly. Someone who understands the weight of the trigger pull far more than most. Lynn doesn't get much screen time in the main story, but the pieces of her past are scattered throughout the game, hidden in side dialogue, character stories, and details you have to actively search for. So today, we're putting those pieces together. This video will focus primarily on Lynn's background and character story. It won't go too deep into major main story spoilers, but just in case, spoiler warning ahead. Lynn grew up in Ice Lake. When Lynn was little, she was once a big shot on the streets. As the leader of the small gang, she gave orders and led a group of children her age into battle. Together, they sought justice, stopping thieves, sewing sheets, and giving them to beggars, and disrupting illegal trade organized by the rich. They called themselves the Fighters of Justice, and their goal was to destroy all the sins and crimes in the slums. After a day's work, they would gather to review their successes, boosting their spirits for the coming day. When corrupt security guards came to chase them away, Lynn always stood in front of the other kids, despite being just as frail as they were. But Lynn wanted more than that. She told her followers that when she grew up, she would drive away those bossy, incompetent people in the inner city, and make bread, milk, and honey affordable for everyone. She would be the heroine of the streets. Lynn has 2 younger twin siblings. The birth of the twins, however, came at a cost of their mother's life. And when those children's childhood began, Lynn's childhood ended. According to the game, it said that Lynn kicked those children out of her life, but that isn't the full story. Lynn went to work every day to earn money so those kids could live a happy life. Also, fun fact, Lynn is the type who settles things with her fists, and we see this in the main game.
Welcome back! Would you like something to drink or eat first? The care package I prepared is in the cabinet to your left. A wide selection. I dare say there's something in there to suit your taste.
A punch in your face would suit my taste best.
Tips. The only tip I have is there's no problem a good punch can't fix. If that doesn't work, throw another.
While Solarian children in the Empire were still attending middle school, Lynn had already entered the workforce. She worked in the mines collecting foxens, carried barrels in the taverns, and served as a maid in wealthy households. Later, she became a fox hunter, sometimes an assassin for hire. Her exceptional talent and refined skills quickly earned her a reputation, and more clients began approaching her with assignments. These commissions evolved from mundane hunting tasks into progressively more covert operations. Some even skipped the asphodel entirely, inviting Lynn to take on private jobs directly. And so, during the 2 years between the ages of 18 and 20, Lynn was publicly known as a courier. Night after night, gilded carriages from the inner city arrived, delivering letters from employers. Lynn carried out their thick, fervent, sometimes near-crazed longings with the barrels of her guns. Before dawn, she would begin her delivery journey, returning days later after weathering wind and snow. In Camilla Scarlet's memories, Lynn would always stride into the tavern at dusk, shaking snowflakes from her cloak. She would buy the cheapest drink, sit alone by the window, and remain silent until closing time. On one rare occasion, Lynn spoke to Camilla and asked for a towel. "I don't want my family to see," she whispered softly. "I got something on my face." Camilla looked at the dark red stain and frowned. She had a keen sense of smell and recognized the pungent odor. "Thank you," Lynn said, accepting the towel. Her frosty face cracked into a smile, and then she disappeared back into the wind and snow. Lynn took odd jobs here and there. At one point, she even worked alongside Camilla, but one job turned out to be a trap. The sharpshooter was unable to escape the Empire, and the soldiers who captured her were members of the 13th Legion. Randy was the one who approached Lynn with an opportunity to join. Later, Chief Sybil interrogated Lynn, asking why she wanted to join the Legion. Lynn took a deep breath and recalled a sunset a month earlier. The sunset that day was so darn beautiful, she replied, and I want to see it a few more times. Lynn has always been the lone wolf type. If she can complete a mission alone, she will, even if it means Randy constantly lecturing her about teamwork and military discipline, blah blah blah. In one of the time event pages, she has a few drinks with you and opens up. The main reason she became a fox hunter, and later a Legion member, was simple. She needed a job that brought food to the table. The Legion needed her skills. She needed their paycheck. A simple exchange. During one of the conversations with Sybil, we learned that the 13th Legion doesn't care how things get done. Only results matter. And through these discussions, we learned just how far the Legion has gone for the Empire. Lynn has one rule: never harm anyone who is not the target. She established this principle during her days in the slums of Ice Lake. But after joining the Legion, even she wasn't sure how long she could hold on to it. At first, Lynn was not trusted when she joined the military. She stood out among the academy-trained soldiers, solitary, streetwise, and rough around the edges. Rumors spread that she had brutally killed fellow soldiers and infiltrated the Legion through unknown means. Wherever she went, cold words followed. Lynn? Oh, that opportunist scumbag? They say she murdered her own comrades. Over time, Lynn proved herself. The rumors faded. Some soldiers were even inspired by her, calling her a heroine for completing impossible missions with flawless marksmanship. But Lynn never believed it. She saw herself as a killer, a perpetrator, a slave who sold herself for money, never a heroine. Major Lynn of the 13th Legion is highly trusted by her soldiers. She isn't as strict as Sybil, nor as cunning as Randy, but she has her own charm. She's decisive, reliable, and never abandons her allies on missions. She complains about being overworked, but always gets the job done. Because she suffered, she understands ordinary soldiers better than most. To her men, Lynn feels real. She doesn't protect her comrades out of kindness, but because regulations demand it. Reputations matter, promotions matter. She even takes part-time jobs, strictly forbidden, as long as she doesn't get caught. In the main story, Lynn takes over Rhythm's mission to hunt a monster attacking both Charons and Solorians. When it escapes, she fires a tracking device and later returns with her squad to finish the fight. She reports the mission to Sybil, revealing the 6th Legion is conducting experiments on people. And honestly, let's just let the dialogue play out.
Chief Sybil.
What is it?
It's about the report I filed earlier. The Spathatoy Academy colluding with the 6th Legion to conduct illegal experiments in the Cocytus region under the pretense of Legion recruitments. Is the 13th Legion really going to turn a blind eye to this?
The 6th Legion is an ally of the 13th Legion. And those who conspired with the Forsakens to commit atrocities in Ice Lake are the enemies of the 13th Legion.
But
Beautiful, isn't it? A symbol of honor. It's thanks to this insignia that you're standing here alive and unharmed. Stand down, Lynn. Don't forget what your duty is.
yes, Mom.
Lynn, when I was younger, I used to see things the way you do now. But to become a true hero, there's something one must learn. Sacrifice.
By the way, I hate this flashback overlay. I could do better in Adobe. Just saying. Anyway, Lynn may seem like someone who just follows orders, but she has honor. She cares. In her side dialogue, Lynn hints at Sybil and Randy's top secret mission involving Barry, but won't give details. She knows you try to get intel with a strong drink, and warns you not to push further. She won't cross the Legion. Everyone's gotta live, right? Lynn also admits that Ice Lake is her hometown. When she returned, her old friends only saw Officer Lynn. She understands why. If she hadn't joined the Legion, she'd be the one trembling at the sights of the soldiers. Even now, the strong and the rich walk all over the poor. One story describes a child bumping into Lynn. The mother panics, begging for forgiveness. Lynn recognizes the mother as an old friend. She wants to tell her to stand up, but understands why she can't. So she just walks away. Lynn no longer sees her family. They still write, but what is she supposed to say? About the experiments? About the prisoners? About the things that she's done? She likes the way that the main character thinks, believing Charons and Silurians could one day live in peace. She wants to see how far you'll take that dream. And she's willing to help you, as long as the Legion doesn't care. And that's Lynn. Not just a soldier, but someone carrying her morals, her guilt, and her hopes quietly behind the barrel of her gun. What do you think of her? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.